For the past 3 days, KC24 has shown you the challenges we face in raising our kids today.
Currently we have 55 active gangs with some 6,000 validated gang members.
The struggles to keep them in school and off the streets. The battle to keep hardened criminals and gang members from making them one of their own.
This is the lowest that you could possibly get in your lifetime. I don't want to see another kid go through the same thing that I did the last 20 years.
And finally, those that work every day to save kids on the edge of despair.
The fact that sometimes the choices you make, gangs and anger and all that stuff, ends you up in one place, jail. And if you don't end up in jail, you're going to end up what? Dead.
Now it's time to put words to action and see what can be done and where we can go from here. The KC24 News Town Hall Special, Taking Back Our Kids, begins now.
This is a KC24 News Special, Taking Back Our Kids, live from the KC24 studios in Fresno.
KC24 first showed you the capabilities of dragon skin body armor earlier this year. Our cameras were rolling as a single vest took 40 rounds from an AK-47 and 200 rounds from a 9mm submachine gun. The results? Not a scratch on the mannequin underneath the vest.
A lot of times we're asked, well, can you stop a 9mm? And we say, well, yeah, not only can we do that, we can stop 44 Magnums.
But these proven capabilities are not trusted by the U.S. Army, which tells its troops, many of whom bought dragon skin vests for extra protection, they aren't safe.
If soldiers are doing this, they're doing it at their own risk.
Earlier this year, the Army held a news conference to announce it is prohibiting its soldiers from wearing dragon skin. And generals went so far as to say there is no proof the vests are effective.
All these other claims that are being made are essentially, at this point in time, that's exactly what they are, claims.
But now those claims are being confirmed by a new government test independent of the military. The National Institute of Justice conducts what ballistic vest experts consider to be the most stringent body armor test in America. The makers of dragon skins say they passed. It means vindication for this small Fresno company, and will also open the door for Pinnacle to sell dragon skin to police departments previously prevented from buying.
Most major departments rely on that as a pre-qualification for them to go ahead and order.
Murray Neal invented dragon skin, and while the NIJ certification is a major victory, he is still baffled by the Army's hostility to a product that could save the lives of American troops.
The fight, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
The Army's position is also incomprehensible to some of the men and women who wear dragon skin fighting America's war on terror. Take the case of Jocko Boats, a private contractor who works for the State Department in Iraq. He was in this SUV when it came under attack by insurgents with explosives and high-powered weapons. Boats wrote to us from Baghdad, quote, "My driver, left rear shooter, and my right rear shooter were killed instantly, and my vehicle was destroyed in the incident. I was hit in the back with 2 direct AK-47 rounds and 1 ricochet round. We checked my body armor, and all 3 rounds would have been outside the 9x12-inch plate, which is standard issue. I have no doubt in my mind that the dragon skin saved my life and prevented serious injury." Boats' story is not unique. Pinnacle Armor says it gets emails or letters from war zones on a daily basis, many of them with pictures showing what dragon skin can take.
Humvees ripped literally in 2 with nothing in front of the back seats, and the only survivor of many occupants has been the guy wearing the dragon skin.
Even in the face of the growing body of evidence, the Army still won't allow soldiers serving in the world's most dangerous places to don these vests. One defense analyst says the reason why is as straightforward as it is shocking.
Greed, something as simple and something as atrocious as that, is the principal reason that dragon skin is not being issued to the kids that are out there fighting and dying for us today.
Each individual we talked to had their own story to tell. No 2 people are going to have the same experiences, but these personal accounts add up to the same war they share.
You don't walk in fear, you just put your faith in God the whole time. That's how we did it. And we prayed all the time. All the time.
Everybody comes home who comes home all in one piece. I mean, you feel just the luckiest person in the world.
Everyone's scared to a certain extent, but there's people who can handle that and put it away for the time being, and there's certain people that can't.
Extreme emotions of fear, doubt, and angst. To understand what the Iraq War is really like, you have to go through it like these Valley men did. They all describe moments that impacted them. Fresno resident Rick Jimenez, a staff sergeant in the Marine Corps, remembers one mission in particular.
I'm looking at this house, and just at a glimpse, I look in this window, and I see that there's someone staring at me, but as soon as I make eye contact, they duck down. So we bang the house and we go in. Come to find out there's no insurgents in there. It's not hostile. There's no weapons. There's nothing suspicious. What it is was just this little boy who was looking out the window, and as soon as I saw him, he ducked.
He tried communicating with the children's mother.
I'm trying to ask this lady, I don't have an interpreter with me in my best Arabic, which is horrible, if there's any enemy in the area, if they've seen any kind of suspicious activity, right? She's not telling me anything. She doesn't speak any English.
Jimenez remembered he carries a picture of his family.
So I pull my picture out and I go, look, this is me, this is my wife, and these are my kids, you know, so I'm a human being too. And as soon as she saw my family and my wife, English, and she's talking, oh, absolutely. Oh, are those your babies? Yeah, those are my babies. And oh, they're so cute. And perfect English.
Mike Fitzgerald, a staff sergeant in the Army National Guard, is a 20-year veteran of the military.
I mean, I've seen everything from, you know, minor stuff like cut fingers and things of that nature to, you know, we've had people who were hit by IEDs and, you know, half their body's gone. You know, you're out there picking up legs and limbs.
Many times, he says, his unit was scanning the areas for improvised explosive devices.
You're driving down the road at 75 miles an hour with a window that you can barely see out of anyway because it's smaller than your normal windshield in a car. You're wearing all this gear. I mean, you're cramped in this vehicle because you have computers and radios and all this other stuff. And, you know, you're trying to monitor the radio with your headset on. You're trying to drive the vehicle, and you're trying to scan the road at the same time.
Then there's the younger soldiers like Sean Ferguson of Visalia, who received 2 Purple Hearts for his service in Iraq.
I was in the back of the vehicle just with my weapon, just watching out, because we have air guards. So when we're moving, all the guys sit inside, and there's people out on top of the vehicle. And we were just moving, and all of a sudden shots rang out, and a bullet entered from here, entered my hand right there, and exited right there.
Right there! No words could entirely convey the experience to those who weren't there, but the voices of these veterans ring loud and clear.
These are all things that you know you'll never hear about. The only thing you ever really hear about is, you know, people dying.